You just thought of something, Boomer, and then you stopped talking, so that meant you want to say it on the air.
I think we get hosed around here. I just realized something. Today's big Mike's big Bar A show down there, right?
Right, it is.
In the Jersey Shore.
I'll piss.
Yep. No, you're not going to pass. You're going to be there, and we're going to be promote the app and everything else.
Right.
It's a big deal. But I just thought that he's going from 1 to 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
So he took 2 more hours away from CMB. And they get a Friday off.
That's right.
Put my mic on! Why did he go from like 6 to 6:30? Then we could have gotten a little time off.
Yeah, I wonder. So it's a big deal when you fill in for somebody. And I know that Chernoff tells us this all the time, or told me this when I would fill in, that when you're doing somebody's shift, you better say, I'm in for this person. You know, like if you are, even if it's overnight, doesn't matter.
There's no way he's going to say at 1 o'clock, hey, I'm in for CMB. There's no way.
And you have to play their theme song and everything. The imaging, he's got to do it. He's in for CMB.
Oh, that's not going to happen. You know, Chernoff's not here today. I think he's on his way to Bar A right now.
No, he's already there.
Up and have a good time. And Let's go. Let's crank it.
He's raking the sand there right now to make sure it's nice and smooth. Everything is perfect. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But Mike should say from 1 to 3 that he's in for CMB, and they have to play the CMB theme song and everything. It's only fair, right?
Right.
When CMB's in for Mike, Carlin says it every hour.
What do you think?
CMB in for Mike?
I agree. That's the CMB time slot.
So
right.
But don't you think we're getting hosed? Like we never so Mike could be there at 3 to 6:30 like his normal hours, but if there's a Yankee game, right, what happens?
Yeah, we never get Yankee games at 6 a.m.
6 o'clock in the morning.
We're the only ones doing 4 hours, by the way, during the main time slot. The overnight people do, but we're the only ones during the day that do 4 hours anymore.
All right,
right?
give me 5. I'll do 5. Let's go.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Whatever you need, man. We'll do whatever you
6, 7. Let's go.
Or go with the flow guys around here.
Right, without a doubt.
Andrew in Wappinger Falls. Andrew, what's happening, brother?
Hey, what's up, guys? I just want to call in and say that Mike's new app. Honestly, I think it's innovative. It's groundbreaking. I'm only paying for content that I want. Like, for example, I have Time Warner, and I pay $170 a month, and that's only so I can watch the Knicks and the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have all this other content on there that I'm not even watching. And honestly, as far as original programming goes, I mean, we just have Hulu and Netflix. So I think if a lot of other things did it like Mike is, that would cut down on a lot of people's cable bill.
Are you really that stupid?
Let's go to John in Tarrytown. John, what's happening?
Yo, Boomer, Gio. Hey, guys.
What's up, John?
Dude, you guys were so approachable and so cool to talk to and take pictures with. My wife and I last night were out at the event at the Breeze Park. You guys were just so awesome just to be around. I got to tell you, so I'm with my wife, and it's a complete riot, panic being next to Sour Shoes. The kid is something else. Boomer, how did you concentrate? How were you able to block out?
I didn't block out anything. I enjoyed every minute of it, just like you did and everybody that was standing there did. I mean, the more the better, and it just added to the flavor of the whole night, and that's
clown wig.
Yes.
He's got a clown wig. He's got a skillet with bacon.
Kielbasa.
Hot dogs.
Pancakes.
He had pancakes there. He had stuffed animals behind home plate. I mean, he had a little bit of everything.
And he had a line. We were taking pictures with him, and he was doing all kinds of goofy dances and everything. We had like a blind back was taking pictures with him, and you're on the mound, and it was like, oh my God, how is Boomer like delivering the ball to even getting it near the strike zone with all this going on?
The more the merrier, man. He was awesome last night.
Yeah,
I
was
don't know.
so
You know what he goes into his Mike and Chris rants and everything. It is hilarious. And then of course he does John and Susan. And then I don't know. Then all of a sudden he'll pull something out of somewhere that is so random.
Yeah, I mean
if you listen to it and you hear the payoff at the end of it, it's just like, how the hell did he think of that?
My favorite is when he was doing all the commercials, when he did Cars for Kids, and then he did our buddy Joe Farrow from Pep Boys. He did that.
I actually noticed you seem to be really into it because you do impersonations like he does.
Yeah.
And you were paying attention to everything that he was doing when we were in the dugout. Actually, I heard you laughing at first base a couple times, too.
Yeah, well, the thing about him that's so amazing is the fact that when you try to talk to him when he's not performing, it's like he can't carry on a normal conversation with you because he has to be on all the time. So the genius factor of that to me is it's really fascinating. And the nuance in these impersonations. The thing that he picks up on with John or Susan or whatever it is, and the commercials. He did Geico. He did
It's 79 degrees there, Juan.
Yeah, he did a lot of Noin. No. He
likes
did
the number 9.
I think he did a Mike and Chris version of 867-5309. That's what he was doing. It's like 867-5309. No. When he has Mike and Chris do duets, I mean that was unbelievable. He had Mike and Chris do Glory Days, I think.
Yes, he did. He did. And, like I said, if you're a listener to this radio station, you know what goes on around here, and you hear it, which all those people that came last night do, obviously. It just makes it all the more funnier.
Yeah,
it just doesn't get any better than that.
No, he did the My Pillow guy. He did all sorts of commercials, too. He just shows you he's just like, absorbing all sorts of stuff all the time and then regurgitating it. I mean, it's got to be amazing.
Awesome. Let's go to Danny in Staten Island. Danny, what's happening, brother?
Hey, morning, boys. Big Jeff fan here. Looking forward to the season. Excited. Really happy about the Sam Darnold pick. And I also think, he'd be a great starter. My question is what happens if they start him? Things don't go as planned. Do they even have an option to go to McAllen or Bridgewater?
Sure, you can, yes. Listen, if he struggles a little bit here or there, you take him out of series or something, it's not anything to make a big deal out of. I mean, let's face it, he's a kid. He's 21 years old. He has started as a quarterback one year in high school, 2 years in college. This is his 4th year if he wins the starting job. Think about that. Just think about how quickly this thing has gone for him. And he's going to be experiencing some difficulties. That's just the way it is. And if they have to sit him down and give him a break or take some of the stress off of him, thankfully, if they do keep Bridgewater and don't trade him, or they go to Josh McCown, they always have that option to do that. So we always say this coming out of spring training for baseball teams, and I'll say the same thing for football teams. It's not really who starts the season. It's who ends up, finishing the season and who is the established starter when the season is finally over. And I think ultimately that will be Sam Darnold, but I'm just telling you as a Jet fan, get ready. There'll be some growing pains, but don't get disappointed or discouraged by that. Think about Jared Goff and his growing pains under Jeff Fisher in that offense. And then all of a sudden, Sean McVay comes in there, and then Jared Goff becomes a Pro Bowl player.
Yeah, I don't want to see him getting yo-yoed out of the starting lineup personally. I mean, I think that you just have to stick with him, like you're saying, and deal with the growing pains, because I do believe that sometimes when you have a couple of starts and you lose the confidence, then you're out, and then you go back in, that's not good. I think you got to play through that stuff. If he's going to be your franchise quarterback, you got to play through it.
Hey, but I'm just telling you that, most kids play quarterback from when they're 9 or 10 years old.
Yeah, and he's been doing it.
And he's only been doing it for 3 years. He was a linebacker, so which I do appreciate, too, because he has that toughness factor that, like I always said about Jim Kelly, that's a linebacker playing quarterback. And then Jim Kelly gracefully turned into a Hall of Fame quarterback, and hopefully that will be the case with Sam. Let's go to Chris in New Jersey. Chris, what's up?
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, Chris.
Good. Big Yankee fan. I have really never been a big Greg Bird fan. I guess in 15 when he came up, it was nice and everything. But between the injuries and the inconsistency and everything, I don't know who he has dirt on in the organization. But at this point, they have to move on. I mean, first base is a power position typically, and this is 3 years where we're getting really no production out of that position. And I just think, I don't know if they'll do it because of the money, but I know Justin Smoke cleared waivers. He'd be a perfect fit. Switch hitter, could hit lefty in Yankee Stadium. He's a better fielder than Bird. They got to move on at this point. I know there's potential there with Bird, but I'm tired of waiting for this guy, and I just don't think he can play in New York.
Chris, what's really interesting is that they were getting production at first base at the beginning of the year with Neil Walker and Tyler Austin.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons why they, after that 9-9 start, they all of a sudden took off. I think Tyler Austin was part of that when he got into that issue up there at Fenway Park. But now all of a sudden, there is no question that they are in love with his swing. There is no question about that. What they see is a sweet, smooth swing in lefty that's perfect for Yankee Stadium, and he's a good fielder at first base. It's just that he has just not taken hold, and I think Yankee fans are frustrated by it.
Yeah, and Smoke's got a player option for next year at $6 million.
It's nothing.
Yeah, so, I mean, would the Yankees really not deal for Justin Smoke because of a player option next year for $6 million?
I don't think so.
I mean, because Greg Bird being this bad, he's got a negative WAR. I know we make fun of WAR, but Greg Bird's got a negative WAR. That's how bad he's been this year.
Let's go to Kevin in Oakland, New Jersey. Kevin, what's happening?
Hey, boys. How are you?
All right,
up,
what's
Kevin?
going on?
Boomer.
you're not going to be able to relate to this because I'm your typical narc, but you guys were talking about enjoying a beer back in the day after we would have a big Sega hockey tournament in college.
Yeah, oh, that's great.
And you actually had to walk down the hallway to go to the bathroom.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
We would turn on.
A lot of exercise there. That's perfect.
I know, but kids today don't know that.
Yes.
We used to turn on all of the showers in there and just go hang out in there, drinking our beers, enjoying ourselves.
What do you mean, enjoying yourselves naked?
No, not like the Maryland football team.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Well, we'd be close, but it would be
What
like
are you turning the
own,
showers on then for?
Because it would be like a sauna for
Oh,
us.
a steam room. You wanted to make it into a steam room or something.
Yeah, like we didn't have the privileges that you football players did.
Yeah, we had a lot of privileges, yeah. You're
But
right.
anyway, I wanted to say that I took my son to the Mets game yesterday.
Uh-huh.
It's too bad that the product they put on the field is awful because they do such a wonderful job there. And my son and I had an awesome time. All the kid activities that they have, they need to put a better product on the field just to make it more enjoyable for the adults who go to the game. The kids have a wonderful time.
Yeah, I think if they were healthier, they would have a better product on the field. And by the way, when you take a look at the National League, this would have been the year. This would have been the year. There's no runaway teams.
Yeah, I know. I love how Citi Field is basically like Sesame Place now. It's like bring the kid there, have some fun, look at all the activities.
I will say
that
this.
Big Bird over there? I mean, this is awesome.
You know this. What the Wilpons do, they're developers. They develop things, and maybe not a baseball team, but they certainly develop the stadium.
Right.
And that stadium is beautiful. And if they develop the new Belmont arena like they did Citi Field, you will have a preeminent arena of its time right here in our own backyard.
Why, can they develop a catcher? How about that?
What's that?
Can they develop a starting catcher? Can they do that?
I think that's part of the problem, right?
Yeah, well, part of the problem.
Well, at least but you know what? Remember that the 3-week or 4-week period there, we were dealing with the catcher issues because Plawecki and Darnell both got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and we had Jose Lobaton, right, and
Tomas Nido.
right, those guys. Okay, so they all had their chance. They weren't very good, but at least they made a trade for Mesoraco and got a legitimate catcher here. And then they get Plawecki back, so that I can't sit here and say that it's been the worst thing ever.
This season is one of my least favorite in Mets history. It really is. This has been the worst thing ever. I think this season has been, and now, I mean, I guess with the starting pitching and you're going to be saying the same stuff next year. Well, Wheeler and DeGrom and Syndergaard and blah. And you want to assess this, we're not going to see him. He's done. Jay Bruce is going to come back. He's got 3 home runs. The hell's going to happen with him? I don't know. It's just a horrendous season. I keep saying it. I'll continue to say it. It just needs to end. Get Jacob DeGrom, the Cy Young. Have this thing over with. I don't